What's going on, everybody? It should be OY for 20 Game Sports back. Let's get it, man. This is week 8, I believe, in the swac football realm. Appreciate the early birds as usual. Y'all make sure y'all comment so I can give you a shout out, man. Let me know where you're from, what school you repping, what city, what state, anything of that nature. Let's get it. So, big game of the week. I wasn't going to discuss it, but I might as well. And if the volume is cool, somebody let me know in the comments. If y'all can see me on the camera, please let me know as well, because I cannot see myself on my laptop, which is weird. I don't know why I keep going through this silliness lately. But big game of the week. SWAC, Southern going down to visit Jackson State, the defending champions. I'm going to get into that later. If y'all did not see the news, see the video earlier, Jackson State was given their championship rings from last year by the athletic director, A.D. Robinson, I believe is his name. But yeah, Southern is visiting Jackson State. The big news came out Sunday afternoon. I believe I was one of the first, if not the first person to report on that. You have College Game Day going to visit a HBCU school, a SWAC school, and I believe this is the first time since 2008, 2007. They went to FAMU, so this is the first time they're going to officially visit a SWAC school. So that adds a little bit more of a implications, more craziness to it, more noise to the rivalry. Man, we know that they call this the boombox classic. All those things. If I misspoke, I'm sorry. G Parker's in there. What's up, G? Appreciate you coming through. So that just adds on what's happening. And I know y'all seen the videos and the stories. There are people asking the fans of Jackson for over 15,000 people to be asked to attend the College Game Day. You got to get out there early. You want to be up in front of the cameras by Desmond Howard, Lee Corso, Kirk Herbstreit, and I can't think of the last guy named something Fowler, right? And then they got the new guy. He has a very big following. Can't think of his name. He should be there as well. But all that things just ties into what's going on with this big game this weekend. Jackson State is first in the East, and y'all gotta excuse me. I'm chewing on a cough drop because all of a sudden about 10 minutes before it got on, I started coughing. I ain't been coughing in about a week, so I don't know what's going on. But Jackson State is first on their side of the division, the SWAC East, and then you have Southern, who is first on their side of the division coming into this game. They've won 4 straight, and again, I appreciate the late coverage. Y'all make sure y'all let me know who you are in the comments. Don't be afraid to comment. Southern has won 4 straight. They beat Alcorn to take outright first place a couple of weeks ago. Then they played a smaller school in Virginia, Lynchburg, I believe, last week. Dominated them, and then we have Jackson State, who just on the road. Everybody thought that Campbell was going to be the school. To dethrone Jackson State on this run that they're having. Even if Jackson State would have lost. Jackson State has not lost a SWAC game in a year plus. So even if they would have lost to Campbell, as many folks predicted, many folks predicted, you still have to dethrone Jackson in the SWAC, which lately can't nobody do. These guys are fast, they're strong, they're smart, they're quick to the ball. They don't have too many turnovers. Although Shadura has been lately, he's had a pick in his last 3 games, I believe. I believe he's had an interception in his last 3 games. Not like him on a usual basis. So Southern, again, they're hot. They won 4 straight. It's going to be the wheels of each team who can come out there and dominate. Southern is a running team. And if I have my notes here correctly, Southern leads the conference in rushing, I believe. Yes, they do. Southern leads the conference in rushing at 228 yards a game, averaging 5.7, so nearly 6 yards a carry. But the flip side of that, Jackson State is only allowing 73 yards a game. So that right there is a story in itself. Can the defensive line at Jackson State continue to dominate and do things that they're doing, not allowing their offensive linemen to get up to that second wave, which is the linebackers? Jackson State does a great job of not allowing that happen. Their front four, tremendous. Niles Gaddy. You could throw Aubrey Miller in that mix. And I'm missing some other guys, man. If I misspoke, I apologize. But Southern wants to run the ball. They have 283 rushes already on this year for 1,500 and that. So 1,600 yards basically, right? 1,600 yards basically. That's not happening on Jackson State's defense, man. And I'm sorry if you watched the Campbell game, right? And a lot of those rushing yards that happened for Campbell, shout out to my guy Hoop Jordan. He basically pointed that out. A lot of those yards came off of broken plays. My guy America's Pastor Travels in the building. Salute to you, my guy. Appreciate you coming through as we breaking down this boombox classic, Southern versus Jackson State. But yeah, the Campbell game, if you notice, there was a lot of broken plays with a quarterback. I think his name is Mr. Williams or something like that, where he was able to escape. He broke a few tackles, and I will give him credit, right? Most folks would say that Jackson State was not tackling well, but I will give him credit. They got a lot of yards off of broken plays from the quarterback. It's just plain and simple. You can go back and watch that game. Shout out to my guy Wayne Morgan. Wayne Morgan's and half the yards were against the D2 school in Pine Bluff. Because I'm sipping on some scotch tonight. But Southern wants to run the ball, and I just don't see how they're going to be able to accomplish that against Jackson State defense because nobody has. 73 yards a game in today's age of high-octane offenses, whatever level you want it to be, whether it be FBS, Power 5, Division I, AA, FCS, all those things, D2, D3, NAI. Allowing 73 yards a game is highly impressive. And Southern comes in at number 2, and they're only allowing 96 yards a game, right? But we know Jackson State is more of a passing team. That Shadur is going to get his numbers. He's accurate. And you can throw in Mr. Wilkerson. Is it Savion Wilkerson or Savion Wilkerson? I don't know. That's why I just call him Wilkerson because I don't want to obliterate his name. I want to say it's Savion Wilkerson. I want to say it's that. So that right there between, can Southern offensive line get enough push that Jackson State has to worry about that on a consistent basis? In my opinion, I just don't think so. Southern's quarterback runs for a lot, right? I believe he is, I have it in my notes here as well. Southern's quarterback, his name is it Bashan McCary? I want to say it's Bashan McCary. He has 61 rushes for 406 yards. I believe that's the quarterback. And if I'm wrong, somebody let me know. If I'm wrong, and then right by him is Gerard Sims, right? So both of these guys are averaging. Bashan McCary is averaging 6.7 yards a carry. Highly impressive. And then Gerard Sims coming in right behind him, he's averaging 5 yards a carry. I just don't see it, though. I don't see it with Jackson State's defense, with their ability, and Wayne Morgan said it is McCary. Gotcha, appreciate it. With their ability to fly to the ball and make tackles on a consistent basis, which they didn't do against Campbell, but they did correct that in the second half. I don't even know if Antonio Doyle is back. We know that Shiloh is back. He made a big hit last game. Travis Hunter should be playing again. And Aubrey Miller, I don't know what else I can say about that guy. One guy I feel that needs to step his play up, and it's not a slander on him And I'm not saying that he's playing bad, but Mr. Niles Gaddy, right? And he's not playing bad in my opinion. He's causing some ruckus. He's been getting double teamed a little bit. But the very first game of the season, I believe he had 3.5, 4.5 sacks somewhere between those first two games between FAMU and Tennessee State. And then right now, as the season has progressed, this is week 7 or week 8, he only has 5.5 sacks. So he has to show up and show out. He has to make big plays. If you're a Jackson State fan, you want to see him cause a little more disruption. And again, last week against Kimball, he was close to the quarterback, I believe. Just couldn't come up with some of those tackles. Unfortunately, it happens. It happens. It definitely happens. But again, looking at the stats and looking at the games that I've seen a little bit of Southern. I've seen them against Alcorn. I know they want to run the ball. I know they want to run the ball. Will Jackson State decide to go ahead and put a spy on the quarterback? Because again, the quarterback is averaging 6. Let me make sure I'm right. 6.7, so nearly 7 yards a carry. So do you decide to put a spy on the quarterback, or do you just let your defense do what they normally do? All right. And Dennis Thurman has done a tremendous job. And it's crazy to believe that this defense is better than what it was last year. You lose a guy like James Houston, a Keontae Hampton. But you also you get a world-class cornerback who was only played 2 games, and Mr. Travis Hunter, and his presence on the field just shows me something. It seems to elevate, especially in the defensive backfield, it seems to elevate those guys' play. And the 2 games that he's played against FAMU and against Campbell last weekend, the defensive backfield was just off the charts good, man. If y'all think otherwise, please let me know in the comments, man. They were off the charts good last week. Wayne Morgan says, I think he would do more now that the D-line is healthy. Can't double him at all the time. Now, yeah. And that lets me know that you're good, right? That means the scouting report, for folks who don't understand that, the scouting report, they're saying, man, we must block this guy. We must get a double team on this guy, which is Mr. Niles Gaddy. But when you do that, you're leaving other guys open, such as a Aubrey Miller, Antonio Dooley when he comes back at the linebacker position. And as crazy as it may seem, it's the linebacker core and the defensive backfield is the strength of Jackson State's defense. But the defensive line has played a tremendous season. I appreciate that like on Facebook, as I haven't mentioned that. Y'all make sure y'all hit that thumbs up button, man. Like this stream. If you're on Facebook, like it, heart it, care for it, anything like that. If you are on YouTube, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, then subscribe, and then hit that bell button once you subscribe. All right, do all those things, man. Do all those things. On Twitch, man, honestly, I don't understand why I never get a notification when somebody likes it on Twitch. When I go to Twitch and I go back and I'll see like 2 or 3 likes here and there, which is, I'm not big on Twitch. It's just fun. But I never see it on here, so it's weird. Wayne Morgan says that's facts. Travis changes the whole defense because he can lock down it and Nugget can lock down, so it gives that 50 DB a lot of freedom to run. Yeah, at one point, the starting safety was the leading tackler on the team. I don't know if he still is, but I know Aubrey Miller came in and solidified that spot for a while. He solidified that spot for a while. But yeah, at one point, Jackson State's safety was able to fly around the field and make those tackles. He's no longer in the top 25. Actually, Aubrey Miller is the only tackler for Jackson State in the top 25. Aubrey Miller has a total of let's see. He has a total of 39 tackles on the season, which puts him 7th. Puts him 7th in the conference as total tackles. But man, what else can you say about Travis Hunter? The guy has only played 2 games, and he's electrifying, right? And y'all, the older folks, y'all remember The Rock used to be out there tripping with himself. He's electrifying, man. Most electrifying man on the field. Like, The cameras are there to see him, and don't get it twisted. If there's no Coach Brown, if there's no Travis Hunter, if there's no Shadur Sanders at Jackson State, College Game Day would not be at Jackson this weekend. But you take it how you can sometimes. You take it how you can sometimes, and you just live with the results. I really wish I could make it down there. I got too much traveling to do in November. But I wish I could get down there, man. I wish I could. I know it's going to be a crazy experience. Y'all should get up early in the morning and make sure y'all go and watch that. I might actually, get up early and do some early coverage on that. Know what Steven said that you're going to be live for the game. More than likely, know my guy, Hoop Jordan. What up, Hoop? Hoop's in the building. I'll probably bring him up in a second if he wants to get on. Shoot me a text. And then my guy Greenleaf is in the building. Greenleaf has a good channel covering a lot of the Rockets issues. So if you're an H-Town person and you love the Rockets, make sure you're checking out my guy Greenleaf exclusive. Mr. Hoop with him. He called me on my downward spiral when I want to hoop no more. But yeah, Southern. For the folks who are in the chat, what can Southern do to derail Jackson State? What nobody has been able to do in about the last SWAC game-wise. Let's see, they went 11-0 last year. They're 5-0 this year. So last 16, 17 games in the SWAC, nobody has been able to figure out Jackson State. And again, last year, record-wise, it shows that they dominated the SWAC. But far as totality of the game, far as score, it wasn't a pure domination. But y'all know I'm going to give people their props, but I'm always going to throw a but in there. But at the end of the day, it don't matter. As long as they say that you won when that clock hits triple zeros, it is what it is. I'm trying to give Southern something to hold their hats on. And it might be on the defensive side of things, because as good as Jackson State's defense has been, Southern's defense has been pretty legit as well. And of course, they played a school who just became Division I first game of the season. I think they beat them 85-0. And then they played Virginia Lynchburg last week, a team that's not very good, dominated them. So that's two opponents who they pretty much dominated. So that can kind of skew their defensive numbers, but at the end of the day, it's showing that Southern is a really, really good defense. Right? They're number 2 in the conference in totality, defensive-wise, right? Team-wise. As I'm looking at, yeah, I'm right. So overall, for scoring-wise, Southern is only allowing 18.4 points a game, and Jackson State, of course, is leading the conference at 10. And that just probably became 10 points a game when Kemmel got that late score last week. About a minute 30 left, somewhere in there. And my wrist is itching because I got bit by damn mosquitoes. But Southern is only allowing 18.4 points a game. And the issue with that is Jackson State, they haven't had a game the last 2 games where they put over 30 points. The last 2 games. So you know they're itching to get that offense back rolling. They got Travis Hunter back. We still don't know what the issue is with Malachi Wyman. But the initial reports at the beginning of the year was Graves figuring things out, him trying to get along and figure out what Coach Bartolone wants from him. So he's still missing. Shane Hooks did not have a good game last weekend. He was pretty much taken out of the game last weekend, and you didn't hear from him. Dallas Daniels he's the secure blanket. He's the Warren Newman. He's the Warren Newman. Eugenia's in the middle. What up, Eugenia? Appreciate you coming through. That front four was tough against PV. Southern's front four, yeah. So you got Mr. Dumas, the transfer from PV, leading that attack. They do have a couple of guys leading in tackles. Jalon Campbell. Jalon Campbell is their He's a junior linebacker. He is in the top 5. I want to say he's in the top 5 of tackles on this season. Yes, Jelon Campbell, he comes in with 41 total tackles. So that tells me 2 things. One, he's attacking the ball really well, or the running game of the opposing team is able to get up into that second level, and Jelon Campbell is having to make those type of tackles to kind of save big gains. So there's 2 things with that. Either one, he's just flying to the ball. He has a very high nose for the ball. Again, he's number 5 in the conference in total tackles. That's not by accident. Or it's because opposing teams are able to get to that second level, and now Jelon Campbell's coming down to having to make those big stops for his team. And that's what you want out of your linebacker. He's just a junior, so he'll be back. Brian Johnson's in the building. What up, Brian Johnson? Appreciate you coming through. And again, we got some late folks, and I usually don't do these this late on Thursday because I know it's prime, NFL. It's hard to compare. Even though the games that's been on Thursday has been trash juice, as me and my guy Hope Jordan used to say back in the gap. Y'all kind of going back and forth. The game against Lincoln was a joke. That team was looking at a bunch of guys they got from gym. Was it Lincoln? Was it that? That was the name of the school? I can't remember the name of the school. Leonard Jones in the building. What's up, Leonard Jones? I don't have my sound effect working. I pulled them up. They're not working. Hope Jargon says number 98 is tough. He's tough. Let me see who he is. Number 98, Joshua Donald. And you mentioned his name. This guy is just a freshman out of Durham, North Carolina. Joshua Donald, 6'2", 300 pounds. That's a big young man. 6'2", 3. I'm basically, let's say I'm 6'1", so he's an inch taller than me, and he weighs about 80 more pounds. He weighs about 50-something more pounds than me. So that's crazy. That's a big young man. Big young man. He might, again, Southern's defense has shown that they can handle certain things, but I will say this. I don't think they face the offense like Jackson State. And then going back to my guy, Dallas Deion is, he's my Warren Newman now. If y'all paid attention to this channel, if you're not new to this channel, y'all know I love Warren Newman, man. I loved everything about that dude last year. He was just a very solid guy. He was always open to me, and Hope Jargon knows, man, I love Warren Newman. Dallas Davis has slowly but surely climbed into that position for me. And D Hope comes in the building and said, "What up, Hope? What up, Between Against What's going on, my guy? Appreciate you coming." Florida Memorial, that's who it was. And then the 2D2 schools they played. Yeah, man, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Hit that like button. Linda Jones says she's on the way to Jackson. Okay, Linda, y'all be careful. Y'all be careful. I low-key wish I was going. But again, I got a lot of high school basketball events to cover in Houston the next few weeks. So I just got it. Sometimes you got to make business decisions. Good Lord, I can't get that out. But back to what I was saying, I guess the only hope for Southern is that defense plays lights out. But again, that offense for Jackson State, as good as they are, they still haven't hit on all cylinders as I think they should, right? And again, I'm going to give credit to the opposing team's defense, right? We have to be able to look at both sides of these things. You have no Malachi Wyman, who's your best vertical, right? And I mean vertical, I mean up in the air, right? Not down the field, but the most vertical athlete, in my opinion. Shane Hooks didn't really play well last week. Dallas Daniels has been consistently good. You got the speedster, I can't think of his name right now. Folks in the chat, let me know what that kid name is. Kevin Coleman hasn't really had an opportunity to display how good he is. he hasn't had an opportunity to display how good he is. But yeah, and what is that kid's name, man? Somebody in the comments, let me know what that kid's name. You still have DJ Stevens, who's still trying to get his feet wet. Again, I spoke about Kevin Coleman, the speedster. I cannot think of his name. Good Lord, Willie Gaines. Good Lord, Willie Gaines. So all these guys have to get touches, and Dallas Daniels is number 2 in the conference in total receptions right now at 44. He's 10 receptions behind Xavier Smith, who's having a really, really good year. Both of those guys have Xavier Smith has 7 touchdowns, and Dallas Daniels has 6 touchdowns. All right. So all these guys have to get acclimated. So does Southern DBs have enough? Do they have enough juice to compete with these guys, with the Willie Gaines of the world, who can kill you going over the top? With Dallas Daniels being able to basically run any route he wants. Kevin Coleman trying to get his feet wet again. A lot of weapons. Then if you want to go ahead and decide, okay, so you're going to stop the defense, you're going to stop the wide receivers. Now you can throw in Mr. Savion Wilkerson. Again, somebody correct me how to pronounce that young man's name. I want to say it's Savion, S-Y, and then apostrophe V-E-O-N, something like that. You want to be able to stop that guy. So, okay, you're depending on your defensive tackles and your linebackers to handle him. Okay, well, we can throw in, Jackson State can throw in Santee Marshall 38 special. Give you a little different type of athlete back there. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. Vale's in a bit of what up, Vale? Appreciate you coming through. What up, my guy? Brian Johnson says we need Wyman Sight to play this game. I don't know. He might be too far in the doghouse. He might be too far in the doghouse. As my screen just did something funny over here. He might be too far in the doghouse. I don't know for the young man. Oh, man, what's going on? There we go. I got it now. There we go. He might be too far in the doghouse. And Hoop Dragon says, "Do we see Travis Hunter offense again?" I think so. I think he's seemed to show that he was healthy enough. So I don't think they're gonna hold him back as much. He played a lot last week on the offensive side of things, right? Yeah. More than, I think it was at least 4 possessions where he played on the offensive side of the ball. So I expect to see more of him. Can we get some wide receiver screens? Jackson State fans, you want to see some wide receiver screens. Get it out of Shadour's hands quickly and allow him to get it to his playmakers. And Wayne Morgan says, Gaines, there we go. Willie Gaines, there we go. CD Away says SU has no chance against JSU. Now the jukebox is a totally different story. Let's not be deceived. Yeah, and that's always a battle within himself. It's always a battle within himself. I don't get too much into the band stuff, man. Folks be getting on me at halftime. Like, man, play the band. SU is good, but not disciplined. Okay, gotcha. And Bill also says it's Savion is the phonetic pronunciation of that. Gotcha, man. I didn't want to butcher his name, man. I used to be in education, so I used to have to say names all the time. The tight end are not weapons time to release the dogs. Yeah, and as much as improved the play from the tight end is, far as blocking and receiving, I don't think Jackson State's they're not utilizing the tight end as much, right? And we can even tie that in into the NFL game. You see how much these offenses in the NFL rely on their tight ends, the Travis Kelce's of the world, what's the name for the Raiders, DJ Waller's of the world. You have Baltimore's Mark Andrews. The tight end is a very, very useful tool, and I think Jackson State needs to go ahead and decide to go ahead and give them a little more looks, right? Maybe not 2 passes here, man. Let's get it up to 6. Allow them to get up to 6, and Leonard Johnson said, "This Savion got it." And Dale says, "Thanks for the show. I've been on here scratching like Not the New Jack City reference, man. Not the New Jack City reference. Man, I can't wait till this weekend. Shed runs 30 plus yards. The team does extremely well. CJ Jones. That's a very interesting fact. Excuse me. Shedeur had some very big scrambles last week and the week before, actually, that opened some things up and kept some drives alive. And Leonard Jones says, we understand the issue is going to try to come from us, but we are ready. And so this is a very, very big game. Again, the world will be watching. The game is on ESPN3 for folks who, haven't heard. The game is on ESPN3, and usually when college game day comes to your town, you're on ESPN or ESPN2 or something like that. But from what I know, the game is still on ESPN3. Not much you can do about that. But this is the added pressure is there because folks tune in to watch people lose, right? When you're the top dog, folks tune in to see you lose, and that's more of the way of the world right now. It kind of always been there, but I think it's more fluent, more in your face because with social media, so folks and they can't wait to get on social media to talk crap. I'm telling you, man, there are some folks out there in this YouTube space, Twitter space, Facebook space, who have messages and notes and tweets saved in their drafts for where if Jackson State loses a game. I can bet every dollar I got. Leonard Jones said his game is still on ESPN3. Gotcha. There are folks out there who still are waiting, salivating, right? As my man Bill just said, like Pookie, they fiending for Jackson State to lose. Nothing wrong with that. That's part of sports and Southern fans. I hope they travel well this weekend and get out there and show out. And for folks who are saying, man, Coach Prime is only helping Jackson State, this and that. Y'all got to understand, Southern is getting exposure as well this weekend because that's who Jackson State is playing. So Southern fans and Southern players, Southern coaches, soak this up. Take advantage. Take advantage of this weekend. And if I didn't live so far and I didn't have to go to Houston, I'll be driving my butt. I'll be driving my butt to Jackson this weekend. I really would. But back to what I was saying. Big. The moment is big. Everybody's going to be watching. For those who have ESPN3, and they're going to find a way to stream it, whatever the case may be. This is what is it called? The Boombox Classic. This is a rivalry game. Both of these teams are in first place, right? Both teams are in first place on their respective sides of their division. And we also have to remember the little incident from last year. I like to, got to keep that in mind. Or what was it? Jackson State apparently was trying to plant the flag on Southern's field, and there were some guys from Southern who took offense to that and all this other stuff. So it's going to be, as the young folks say, it's going to be lit, man. I hate using that word. It's going to be a spectacle to see, right? Big rivalry. Bragging rights is on the line. And as I said earlier, for folks who weren't in here, a high possibility that this will be the SWAC championship come December. Because all Southern has to do is win out on their side. Whether they beat Jackson or not this weekend, it doesn't matter. They have to win out on their side. Jackson State still has a game and a half lead on FAMU. I want to say they have a game and a half lead on FAMU. As Bill says, we don't have to open up the playbook for SU. White Morgan says, getting to the point where I'm more excited to see JSU defense work than I am to see the offense. Yeah. I'm a defensive guy. Dale says, I watched the last two SU games today. We could run number 36 up the middle of 40 times. And that right there, Jackson State's offensive line is not getting enough credit on how good they've been. And not only in the passing game, but in the run game. And if Jackson State really wanted to, as I get my sip of my scotch. That's good. If Jackson State really wanted to and commit to the running game off the rip, as Brian Johnson for sure has been calling for that, commit to the running game. off the rip, to start the game off, they really could cause some damage. And my thing is, I would love to see that as well, because what does that do? That sucks the linebackers up. That creates play action pass. And I think Jackson State has the potential to get more and more play action pass. I really, really think so. I really, really think so. And again, I appreciate the folks who are coming in here pretty late. Better late than never. I appreciate that. Salute y'all. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Sure y'all hit that like button. And also today's donation goal is at least 5. So if you want to donate to the channel, please do so. At least 5. You can do it with Cash App, Super Chat, Super Thanks, Super Sticker, or you become a member, right? And if you want to become a member to this channel, you have to do it from desktop view on your phone, or from a laptop, or from the computer. So that's today's goal is 5. So I appreciate that. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, right? But if Jackson State really wanted to commit to the run game, they could, and they can do it in a glorious fashion. Bell says, F. Did y'all see the crowd that welcomed the game day bus today? No, I did not see that, Bell. I did not see that. And that's what I was saying. I think I might get up early Saturday morning and begin my coverage early, man. I might begin my coverage early. And yeah, if y'all didn't see Jackson State, you don't follow Coach Prime on Instagram. They, the players from last year, they got their rings, right? Their SWAC championship rings, which was a pretty dope moment. The AD was in there, gave a little speech. This is the biggest HBCU game since the late great legend Eddie Robinson with CD away. You might be right, man. Right? And I would say that because of history, right? This is the first time college game day. There are folks who are not understanding how big of a moment this is and trying to downplay it, but we cannot downplay this moment in time in history. All right? October 29th, 2022. College game day, the biggest college football show there is, pregame show there is, and there are multiple other ones, right? Fox Sports has theirs, I believe. But this has been going on since I was in middle school, high school, something of that nature. The biggest college sports show there is, pregame show there is coming to a SWAC school. Of course, they've been to another HBCU before, right? And now FAMU is now in the SWAC. But MEAC can always claim that. But this moment in time, this is the first time college game day will attend a SWAC school, Jackson State versus Southern. So we have to appreciate this moment as fans, as people, as elderly folks. And sometimes I talk like I'm really, really old. I'm old, but I'm not that old. But we have to appreciate it. We have to, and CD away, you might be absolutely right. A lot of people are wanting the team to be the Buster Douglas against Jay. And there's nothing wrong with that. And again, I think Jackson State has the right guy at the helm to deal with that type of pressure. Nothing wrong with that. Hey, and Brian John, go back to your comment. If you're not a competitor, right? You're not a competitor, Jackson State is not the team for you to be on. Because I would love to be in this situation. I would love, because it gets my juices going. For folks to be like wanting you to lose. Everything you do bothers them. Right? You having a coach that walks the field bothers them. You having a deal with Barstool Sports that bothers them. Right? Shadur having NIL deals with Gatorade and Beats, and then Travis Hunter just got, if y'all don't know if y'all saw that today, he just got another NIL deal with this thing called So Hoodie, self-sustained hoodie or something like that. I kind of read up on it for a little bit. That type of stuff bothers him. I would love, I never, and Hope Jorgen, if he's still in here, you can attest, I love playing on the road more than I did playing at home. I didn't mind being the bad guy. Bill said it won't work. Exactly, they coming for blood. Yes. Texas Southern blew out Southern 24-0. But hey, CD, I would say this: any given week, any given Saturday, right? Any given Saturday, you never know. And shout out to Brian Johnson with the first donation of the day. Salute to you, my guy. Again, my sound effects are not working. I don't know why. I have them up and messing with them before the show started. They're not working. So appreciate that, Brian. First donation of the day. But I love being the bad guy. And Bill says I'm drinking scotch also. I bet mine is cheaper than yours. Yeah, man, I forgot. I got I can't even see what it is right now. I can't remember what it is. It's dang, I can't remember what it is. It's a 12-year scotch. I'm almost out of it. It's like got maybe like one more glass of it. Kind of feel ashamed because I my mother's probably on here. I'm like tripping on me. Wayne Morgan says black label and red label are good, but the blue label journal work goes down smooth. And y'all about to make me get up and see what this is. I cannot think of the name of her. It's pretty legit. And I'm not a scotch person. I'm more of a crown person. But I got that as a gift. I cannot think of the name of it. Leonard Jones says sidebar. Did y'all see the JSU got the ring? So yeah. I was talking about that earlier. Yeah, man, anybody wants to become a member to this channel, please do so. Ask Wayne Morgan, but I think I gave the details correctly. SU will have to win in order to plant that flag on JSU jeans, so we know that won't happen. And let me get back to what I was saying. I want to give SU a chance, right? And I think it's going to be their defense is going to be, the keys for me for Southern to win the Southern Jags. And I don't know why my man Southern Jag is not in here. No, Memphis Jag, right? I'm surprised he's not in here. Southern's defense has to be lights out, in my opinion. They have to be lights out. They have to be stout. They have to get at least, I'm going to say minimum 5 3-and-outs. Minimum 5 3-and-outs. And I'm going to say 2 turnovers. Right? So 5 3-and-outs and 2 turnovers is probably the recipe for Southern to pull this upset. And I guess we can call this an upset because Jackson State is the defending SWAC champion. They're undefeated in their last 16 or 17 SWAC games. And somebody correct me in the comments. I want to say 16 or 17, something like that. So Southern, obviously the underdogs. And their defense is going to have to play lights out. Bill says, I agree with you, but I haven't cost cutter when the money is tight. Yeah. I do too, man. I every now and then I'll go get some Evan Williams. It's not the best, but it gets the job done. J-State making history on Saturday. Yeah, they are. And CD Away says 32 years. So 32 years, man, right? 32 years. As my guy Hoop Jungle says, I hope this game is a good one. I just think Southern has to play out of the minds defensively. Yeah, so me and you are on the same page, man. Me and you are on the same page. If you want to join, I'm going to send you the link. I don't know. Me and you on the same page. CD Away says, even though we was at GSU after his heroic Super Bowl win, he didn't get ESPN game day two. Yeah, no, it's absolutely right. Shout out my guy Hoop Jargon with the second donation of the day. Mixed black label water and the Cube Eyes brings out the smoky taste. That's a pro tip. And he says, I'd rather die than drink it. Hey man, at least it's not NJ, man. Or Paul Masson. Y'all, man, I'm about to get up and see what this is real quick. Hold on. Yeah, so it's Buchanan's. Buchanan's is what I'm sipping on tonight, man. Buchanan's is what I am sipping on tonight. As I'm trying to fix my headphones. Buchanan's. All right, so if y'all ever have Buchanan's, man, it's good stuff. Bill says I'm playing McGregor blended Scott whiskey cheap and good. Okay, I never heard of that. JW Blue is legit. So y'all might be putting me on to something. Yeah, my screen is acting stupid on this end. As if Hoop Jargon, if you want to join, man, and give your thoughts, you can. There's a stream link right there. I was gonna text it to you, but I didn't feel like I was being lazy. Bell said, MJ almost killed me back in my grandmother. Hey, man, me and my teammates, y'all know if you're a college guy, you ain't got much money, but me and my teammates, man, we used to go get NJ or we used to go get Parmesan, and literally, we just used to call it same, right? We was like, man, everybody, you got $5? You got $5? You got $5? All right, let's go get this same real quick and go about our business. And Brian Johnson said the weather can play a big role. I'm still taking JSU by 40. So I didn't even think about that. I don't know how it's going to be out that way. But I know tomorrow here in Texas, especially North Texas, we got a 100% chance of rain. And I looked at it earlier today. I don't know, it might have changed, but we got a 100% chance of rain tomorrow, which is crazy. And shout out to Juice HD. I don't know if this is your first time to the channel. If so, please welcome. As you're not worried about playing the flag, we used to win it. So Juice HD is here in the building. So Juice HD, what are your thoughts? So it seems like you're supporting Southern. So what are your thoughts about how Southern can pull this off? And again, I'm gonna call it, if they win, it's an upset. It's an upset, and that's because Jackson State has not lost in their last 16 or 17 games, right? And shout out to Wayne Morgan saying Hoop Jargon always had black on ice. So another so appreciate y'all as my chair just dropped out of nowhere. Guess I'm getting too heavy. Kenneth Zoe. Juice, they said, appreciate having to cross your page when you're showing us a show game. Yeah, appreciate it, man. We like to have fun. I'm not gonna lie. My channel is mostly dominated by Jackson State fans. It is what it is. But I'm always welcome. Now, I'm just a fan of the sport, and some folks might say I'm a Jackson State lover, this and that. I'm not. I will critique them. I will get on their butt when they're not doing something right. So y'all make sure y'all subscribe and hit that like button. If you're on Facebook, like this, heart it, care for it, all those good things. If you're on YouTube, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, subscribe. Once you subscribe, hit that bell button, right? The bell button lets you know anytime we go live. And we've just introduced memberships starting last week. Again, my chair is falling for some reason. We introduced memberships to this channel last week. Wayne Morgan is a member. I think we got Shannon Brooks. We got a couple other folks. I can't remember. I have to go back and look. So we got at least 6 members to the channel. When we get to 50, we'll start doing some private shows for those members. So y'all, if you want to be a member, make sure you get on that. JSU Tigers. JSU Tigers, what up, JSU Tigers? By way of H-Town, if I remember correctly, JSU Tigers. It's cool when they do it, Bill said. That's his phrase to say. Brian Johnson says Juice is beating the high school team and a team from Virginia that was a pickup team. Take credit for those victories. Yeah, you got to, right? And you can't help who you play in front of. You cannot help who you play in front of. You got to be able to dominate those people. As we got a new like on Facebook. Y'all folks that are on Facebook, y'all make sure y'all are following the page, right? If you got any other social media platform, again, my chair just dropped. I don't know what's going on. If you got any other social media platform, make sure you are following us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. CD says I'm a juice box, bedhead. I'm with Brian JSU by 40. Man, I'm kind of tempted to go there. But again, I don't like doing the blowouts. The blowouts is boring. You got to try to be more entertaining. You got to try to be a little bit more funny. You got to try, like the Campbell game. The Campbell game, I didn't have to work too hard. Man, this damn chair is steadily dropping. What is going on? That's crazy. Might be time for a new chair. But the Campbell game, I didn't have to work too hard. It was more entertaining. Folks were more engaged into the game. not worry about what I was saying for the most part. I love that type of stuff. Again, if anybody wants to join, y'all can. Here's the stream link. Just copy it and come on with it. Copy it and come on with it. It says that Scott's kicking in, Pasha's taking it. I don't know what's going on, man. I'm not even touching the damn button and it's falling. But back to what I was saying about Southern. Can they defensively, for anybody who agree with me, I said at least 5 3-and-outs. What else did I say? 2 turnovers? 2 turnovers? And maybe something on special teams, right? A block punt or a punt return, kick return, something of that nature. But I don't see it happening. And I'm not trying to be biased or anything. I think this Jackson State team is on a mission, especially we got to throw this little caveat in there. With them receiving their championship rings from last year. So one, you're a little more, that's getting your rings in the middle of the year. It kind of reminds you of why you're doing this, right? Because we know playing a sport in college is very, very tedious. It's tiring. You got to, figure out ways to continue to pump yourself up. So getting your rings right here this time before this game, before the college game day crew, honestly, they're already there. So getting those rings there, that adds a little fire, right? Put a little more wood to the fire, man. Add a little more log to the fire. I think that was a great strategy, and it reminds guys who were there last year why they're here, what they're playing for, and then it sends a message to the guys who weren't there last year, like, hey, man, I want one of those too. Like, so I think that was again, I think Coach Prime is a master strategist. I think him and A.D. Robinson, I believe is his name. I think they work really, really well together. That move today, them getting their rings on a Thursday before college game day against Southern, against the boombox class. I think that was a tremendous move, right? I think it's a tremendous move. A little insensitive for the guys who weren't there last year. Brian Johnson said the JSU was trying to send a message if they see them again in the SWAC championship. I don't think anybody can beat this team. Close games for Hollywood blowouts are a part of real life. Yeah, I know, man. I know. I hate the blowouts, man. I hate the blowouts. I think Travis Hunter's presence is not only going to be a physical threat, but also a mental threat as well, man. It showed last week, him being on the field. Y'all can't tell me that the rest of those DBs, they have a little more energy. Camels, what a name. Their receivers couldn't create any separation, right? And a lot of folks fail to remember that this group, Mike Mitchell's group, the Camels, had the #1 recruiting class in FCS last year, if I remember correctly. And Jackson State, with 2 missteps in the red zone, the game might have not have been that close, but I'm going to give the Camels some credit in causing those turnovers. I'm going to give them some credit causing those turnovers. I think Travis Hunter's first. Okay, I read that already. And for the players that didn't get rings, will be ready to bust a head. Yeah, I think that was a tremendous role. One more might be on to something. No, man, I'm good over here. I'm good. There it is. Sharon Brooks. Sharon Brooks was the other. She's here. That was a sweet treat coming to the weekend and speech of the visualization ring and chain pendant. Yeah, I think it was, again, this guy, Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, master manipulator, if y'all want to call it that, master motivator. I think he has it figured out. You can't relax with 21 back there lurking. Yeah, y'all seen that big hit he had towards the end of the game. And Courtney Summers, appreciate you coming through. Again, I don't know if this is your first time to the channel. I appreciate you coming through. Y'all make sure y'all get them likes up. JSU is SWAC. Yeah, no doubt about that. So is Coach Brown, because he coaches a SWAC school. Whoever named Campbell football team was drinking what you drink. Hey man, y'all lay off me, man. I'm not that bad over here. Not that bad. The Camels. That don't even like. What were they thinking, right? What were they thinking? Like nothing about a camel besides Joe Cool. Y'all remember the commercial? I'm not even. Y'all remember that guy from that company? Nothing about a camel associates with the United States. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Sharon Brooks, I think it was a dig at Southern more than anything. That very well may be true as well. Again, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe. If you subscribe today, please let me know in the comments. I would love to give you a shout out. I'd love to do my sound effects, but they're not working today for some reason. According to some of them, that's right, we're the best. Fighting camels, yeah, man. King Los, what up, King Los? Joe Cool with the leather jacket, yeah, man. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? That's funny. King Los in the shade, yeah. Joe Camel was, hey man. He had a lot of folks. Hooked on that product. It is what it is. Sharon Brooks says, question, do we know how many walk-ins they put on the team? Walk-ons couldn't find it. I'm not sure. Again, I guess y'all can call me lazy sometimes, man. I don't follow a lot of people on Twitter as far as sports-wise. I do my own research. I have my own thing. Y'all heard what Coach Prime said about one of the walk-ons. It's like, you supposed to be trying to impress me. You supposed to be trying to impress me, and you over here, dogging it or whatever. He told him he's about to be a walkout, which is funny, man. And I know that situation very, very well. I'm pretty sure there's going to be. I know last week they announced that between Campbell and the Southern game, they were going to have at least like 800 recruits, something of that nature. That number sounds outrageous to me, but if y'all know that number, let me know. Y'all let me know. Brian Johnson says Coach Prime is playing chess and the rest is playing checkers. Coach is standing ahead of them and she's always in forward thinking. Yeah, I think so. I think this guy is. It's because he's experienced so much with rooms that y'all follow this channel. Y'all have spoken about this. He's been in rooms that we can only imagine to ever be in. Like we can't. We can only imagine, right? He's been in board meetings with folks who are higher ups in the world, in the sports world. So he knows a thing or two of what's happening behind the scenes, between the game. Yes, that was a pun intended. And that, for folks who understand the meaning behind the name of this channel and the name of my company, it's between the game. Because I like to give information. I like to talk about stuff that folks don't really see. Things that goes on when the lights are not on, when fans are not cheering for you. It's the stuff at practices. That's the stuff that goes on between the games. So y'all, if you follow me, man, let me know. Joe Cool looks like JC. If Osama bin Laden had a football team, he would have named the Fighting Camel. Hey, that's cold. That's cold. We like what you do. Don't discount your platform, bro. Bill, man, I don't even remember what I said. Them ways spinning my boy, man. I'm trying, man. They back a little bit, man. I know. At least you're not. Somebody once asked me if Hoop Jargon is still here. Somebody asked me what did I put in my hair one day. So he'll text me that like just randomly out of nowhere. Brian Johnson, he's a Hall of Famer. We can't even understand what he knows. Yeah, Bill, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. And, I wanted to talk about Coach Eric Dooley. And then I want to go transition into Shadur. And again, we just reached the hour. We just reached the hour mark. But the job that Coach Eric Dooley is doing with this group, being back home, being back where he wants to be, it shows what type of coach that he is. Just they had the hiccup against Texas Southern out there in Arlington in that game and the State Fair Classic. But what he's doing with this group coming over, he loses in the SWAC championship game with Prairie View against Jackson State last year. I just think that this shows how good of a coach he is, how good he is galvanizing this team. And maybe, just maybe, he can take a page out of the book that Coach Buddy Pugh did with South Carolina State last year, basically keeping his guys away from all of the distractions, all the hype, all the hoopla, and basically have his guys tuned in and locked in. Maybe he keeps his guys in the locker room or on the bus a little longer. This is what Coach Buddy did last year for South Carolina State. So maybe he has something up his sleeve to keep his guys locked, loaded, and ready to play, and to get this upset. Again, we have not seen Jackson State really be challenged in the second half besides the Tennessee State game. That game was just sloppy all around. I didn't do that game, but I did see some highlights and things like that. But maybe they can kind of put some pressure on you. Put some pressure on Jackson State. Keep it close. And, the old folks say pressure bust pipes. Pressure bust pipes. Jackson State has not really been challenged in the fourth quarter, third quarter, to be exact, much this season. But I would say this, that game last week against Campbell, the Fighting Camels, might have, gave Jackson State a little bit of hope, right? Figured out who they were when things are tight a little bit. I'm just saying. But I just want to give Coach Eric Dooley his props. I think he's doing a tremendous job with this group. Wayne Morgan says, Faxville, this is one of the two most fair balanced shows where I always come through when I know Eli. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. I try to keep from a very I'm a fan, but I'm a fan who understands there's always two teams. It's always two teams, right? Unless you're playing golf. Right? You're not playing against nobody. Right? You're not playing against a team. As my guy Hoop Jordan has just joined. Wayne Morgan says Soul Glow hair was glistening. Man, y'all lay off my hair, man. Lay off my hair. And Brian Justin says, Sweet Daddy Dooley. I mean, I think this dude is a tremendous coach. As I don't know what Hoop Jordan is doing over there in the background.
Oh, I was waiting for you to bring me on into the conversation. I didn't want to interrupt you.
I said you just joined, so what's going on? No, you snuck up over here.
Oh, yeah, man. I just got the phone with my guy Talvin, man, coach at La Tech. So he was just talking about some of his first year coaching struggles.
Yeah, I bet.
It was a funny conversation, man.
I bet.
Yeah, man. It's off the chain over there in Ruston, man.
That's tough. So what's your thoughts on what I've been kind of talking about and what you kind of want to indicate about this game? I know you, like me, we both want to see a very, very good game.
Yeah, because I don't have a dog in the fight. Obviously, I want to see Dooley do well. Obviously, he led us to the SWAC championship last year, so I would like to see him keep that success going, even though they mollywopped us at home a few weeks ago. It was a game I thought we was going to win, as a matter of fact, but then that second half, they turned it up on us.
Yeah, it was 10-10 at one point.
Yeah. I think we were up like 13. Well, I don't know. Don't get me lying. But you covered the defense. Their front four just looked so good when they started, kind of turning up on Prairie View. So I expect them to be ready. But the problem is, JSU got an O-line this year. So it's fighting fire with fire. So the question is, can the secondary hold up their end of the bargain, and as well as the linebackers? I made a video about those two gentlemen from Bowie. I'm not sure what kind of season they're having right now, but I wonder how they're doing. For Southern, so I need to do some more research on that. So I just think, man, Jackson has so much firepower, man. It's going to be really hard to contain that, man. I don't think a lot of teams in the SWAC, i.e. nobody, got the personnel to really do anything with that, man. So I'm just hoping. Maybe Dooley is just, one thing I like about Coach Dooley, he's a good galvanizer, man. Mm-hmm. He's a coach that players like, and so maybe, he wants to get revenge because, as we know, he got embarrassed in the SWAC championship game last year.
Yep.
So maybe he has a chip on his shoulder, and maybe he's, again, The only reference point we got to beat him is Coach Pugh over there at South Carolina State.
Yeah, what's crazy is it's crazy. I asked people in the chat before you got on. I don't even know if you heard what I said. I literally went about 2 minutes speaking to that same spiel right there, basically like saying, does he take a page out of Coach Buddy's playbook from last year, keeping his guys away from the distractions, away from the noise, off the internet, just keeping them ready to rock and roll. And then when it's time to get on the field, then you go. Don't worry about college game day and all this other stuff, whatever celebrity. Some celebrity's going to be there this weekend for sure. So maybe he takes a playbook, a page out of Coach Buddy's playbook from last year and it can get the upset.
And I'm going to keep it real, man. It's really hard for players to cut all that noise out. I don't care what they say. When you see extra stuff around the game, you were 19 through about 23 years old, you're going to get distracted, man. It's hard not to because you know that you got one go-round basically for this kind of stuff. So it's really hard for you to block it out. How do I know that? Because I remember we played against University of Louisville my junior year at Prairie View. Because it was NBA scouts and it was just all the little showmanship before the actual game. Man, my mind was not focused at all. It was not focused, man. My mind was everywhere, dog. And I had a decent game, but it's just we played against the numbers, 6th team in the nation at the time. Yeah. But I can only imagine. Let me do it this way. We played Texas Southern, the biggest game. I remember every time, before the game started, the Baby Dome was just packed to the brim. I would just look at the fans the whole time. I couldn't focus what Coach was saying in the huddle. I didn't hear nothing he said. I just remember people dancing to Lean With It, Rock With It. That's all I remember. To this day, I don't remember nothing Coach said. So, it's just one of them things, man. And so I hope he can block that out best he can.
Yeah, like you said, man, I don't think, as my guy Double T, Double O is joining in. What's up, my guy? I don't think anybody can, as he said, I don't think anybody can match with JSU and the SWAC. They got too much, man. Again, so you pick your poison. All right, so they can go to, let's go down the list. Shane Hooks, right? He's your red zone threat this year. And then you can go to opposite side, Travis Hunter, who's, kind of getting his way back into things. Electrifying athlete. When he gets the ball, you can see how special he is. Then we can throw in a security blanket in Dallas Daniels, i.e., a.k.a. a new Warren Newman. Then you can go on Willie Gaines to space so he can beat you over the top. And then now they're trying to implement the tight end into the game, and I'm missing some more receivers, right? Kevin Coleman hasn't even got off this year, folks. That's how talented this wide receiving core is. It's going to be tough. And I don't know if you heard what I said. I think Southern needs 5. They need 5 3-and-outs. And they need at least two or 3 turnovers and maybe 1 big play from special teams.
I'm back in now. Sorry, I had to cut off for a second.
You ain't hear nothing I just said. I just wanted
So didn't. Not a word. Well, no, you said the new Warren Newman at tight end.
Dallas Daniels, right?
Yeah.
And then now they can use the tight ends, and then I'm missing some other receivers. But I was saying earlier, I think Southern needs 5 3-and-outs at minimum, right? And then they need at least 2 or 3 turnovers, and I think 1 big special teams play.
Yeah, they definitely need a whole little smorgasbord of stuff to happen, and everything got to go right. I ain't gonna say that. I had something I was going. No, I don't even want to put that in the atmosphere. But something that Jackson does, they're gonna have to lose either their rhythm or something, because it's too much, man. I don't see how they stymie all that talent. Because Jackson got talent they're not even using, like Quaydarius Davis. They're not even really using.
Yeah, I forgot all about him.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So they got talent to burn, man. They got a 2-headed monster running back. They just sound on defense. Travis is playing. Where's the weakness? Where's the attack point?
Again, for folks who have been to this channel, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And this is one of these weekends. You better be lucky. You better have a whole bunch of luck And Juice HD is in the building. He is a rooting for Southern. He said ain't no blowouts, especially if it rains. So then that's a factor right there as well. So if y'all know the weather report, let us know. Wayne Morgan says PV is going to the SWAC chip now. No way JSU beats no way SU beats JSU, Florida A&M, and Gremlin. PV beats Alcorn. But Southern holds the tiebreaker, right? So FAMU and Gremlin is on SWAC East, correct?
Yes. No, West. FAMU is on SWAC East, Gremlin SWAC West.
All right, so if Southern just has to win out, whoever their remaining opponents is on the SWAC West, they're good. I can't remember because they already beat PV. Mm-hmm. They beat Alcorn. So whoever they just have to win that. Well, I guess Gremlin, right? They just have to beat Gremlin. Gremlin is pitching up a goose egg right now. So basically, if both of these teams win out, even if Jackson State happened to lose that game, I think they still have a game and a half lead on FAMU. So more than likely, this will be your SWAC championship coming up in December. And Vale says Hollis number 4 get open in the back of the end zone. Dallas Daniels is a tremendous route runner. Y'all just got to understand. That's who we talking about. That's who you talking about. JSU hasn't played at his full potential yet. No, they haven't.
Yeah, that's the scary part.
Yeah,
that's the scary part.
But I'm going to be objective and give credit to the opposing team's defense or offense, whatever the case may be. I don't think how many interceptions Jackson State has. Let me go to my notes here. They don't have very many interceptions. Jackson State they have 7. Okay, so no, that's not right. I'm lying. No, they have 6. So number 7 in the conference, not bad. Southern has 10. So that's something that I guess we can segue into that. Shadur Sanders, he's dealing with the elbow issue. Folks are saying he's forcing things. He doesn't have the arm strength. Not following through on his passes. He has an interception in his last 3 games, I think. Right, so that's something, again, talked about them creating turnovers. Can Southern do that? They have 10 interceptions on the season, so which is number 1, tied for first in the conference, right? Behind with Texas Southern. So that is something that we should keep an eye on this weekend.
Okay, that's something we can roll with. Southern gonna cause some friction up front, and they secondary can handle it. I still want to see. I'm gonna make sure I do this next stream. We talk about it. How those guys from Bowie doing? Because I know that was a big point of emphasis that Coach Sewell was talking about. Now he's at Morgan State, but he was talking about having those guys at Bowie, like turnovers and interceptions was like expectation. Like, so I wonder how those gentlemen were doing. So interesting little backstory I need to look at.
Yeah. Vale says, I would like to remind everyone that Mike Zimmer is sitting at home and analyzing games.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's a tough thing. Brian Johnson says, Rucker, Davis, Pope. Yeah, we missing a lot of those guys. The league is in the first half. What are you talking about, Bill? And prime is these guys, Lord and Savior, Beezy, the boss. Appreciate you coming through, Beezy. He says, when Prime leave, y'all going to cry. No, I'm not. I'm not.
Who's y'all? You talking Jackson fans or just people in general? Because Jackson fans gonna talk noise regardless. That's why I'm not seeing. So I appreciate the success they having, but Jackson fans are kind of annoying too. And it's coming from a dude I've been involved in SWAC for the last 17 years of my life. So I don't think they're gonna cry it out. I think they're gonna still be who they are. They're still gonna talk that noise. You can still hear D.I. Love every 15 seconds.
Yeah.
It is what it is, man. Look at that. They were talking noise when they were trash. They were talking trash when they were trash. So I mean, I don't see that happening.
Juice HD says they hold the tiebreaker. So yeah, Southern holds the tiebreaker, man. So again, back to what we're saying. I think there will be a rematch come December. It's exactly the same because you guys didn't always talk like this until he came. There's no y'all, man. There's no y'all. And Brian Johnson says the Kobe mentality, but even Kobe lost. Yeah, Kobe lost a lot.
Go back to Beasley, baby. Beasley, the boss. Exactly the same, because some of you didn't talk like this until he came. Well, in some capacity, you're right. It's not completely right though, because it wasn't a lot of space. Like, so for example, me, I can speak for me. Talking about the SWAC is what I do in the group Roughing the SWAC, and most people who are on these streams, they know what I'm talking about. And formerly before that, been a SWAC page. So I mean, I can't speak for everybody. I know myself. I've been speaking on this forever. It's just now the platform is as big as it's ever been. So, I don't think you can put everybody in that box, my boy.
Hey man, Beasley the boss. I don't mind you, man. You came in here. You came in hot. That's for sure. You definitely came in hot. I don't know what my guy Mike is. Must be a game on. He definitely came in hot. But we have to appreciate it for what it's worth. As Bill says, he's here now, and it's okay that we talk about it. Yeah, man. You Jackson State fans, you should be able to poke your chest out a little bit. But again, because you went 11-0 last year. How many SWAC games did you play? Went 11-2 last year. So what is that? 9-0, and then you won 4 or 5 this year. So my math might be off. So at least the last 13 games, you have won your SWAC game at minimum. So Jackson State fans deserve to talk a little bit, and there's nothing wrong with that. And Brian Johnson says the program will be better than when he took it over. Yeah, and he says he's a proud bandwagoner. See, I like folks like nothing wrong with that.
At least on it.
Nothing wrong with that, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, man. We almost got to 100 tonight. Almost got to 100. But yeah, Shedeur, I want to get your assessment since you're on here. What's been your thoughts about him the last couple of guys? He's still been very, very accurate, but he's had 2 interceptions against Bethune-Cookman and an interception last week against Kimball. So what do you think is going on with him right now?
I think he's fine for the most part, man. One thing I like is he's cool under pressure, man. He's cut down his errant throws when he has a lot of pressure. I think that was the biggest thing that I didn't love so much about him last year. Mm-hmm. Because for their O-line to play so well, it's been a lot of times I've seen them still getting that in that get past that O-line, and he'll evade them, and he still has his eyes upfield. So I think his mechanics are getting a lot better. You're going against D1 guys, and so it won't be perfect games. And does he press sometimes? Yeah, and the interception show it, but I think he's fine, to be honest. I think also he's making the wrong read sometimes. And what stood out to me is the Campbell game when he could have just gave the ball to I think not Wyman. What's the boy named the running back Wilkinson in the flat. He could just gave it to him. That'd be an easy touchdown. And he kind of was trying to make magic on the other side of the field, running the ball like so. I think his confidence is there. It's just he's making the wrong read from time to time. That old Dak Prescott stuff. So it is what it is.
And I would tell folks this: like he's still a sophomore, right? He started. Let's say this is week 7 or week 8, I believe. Week 7 or week 8. So he started less than 20 games, right? He started less than 20 games. That still means something. And I guess this is a great transition as you can kind of come and talk about this this video that you did earlier. Brian Johnson said Shedeur never lost a SWAC game.
There you go.
Most famously made famous by LeVar Ball, never lost. Never lost. So Hope Jargon did a great video today with man, I'll let you tell that shit.
Yeah, no, I did a video talking about LeVar Ball, speaking about Coach Prime and what he's doing with his boys and how it's similar in some way of what he did with his boys. And it seemed to have got a lot of people's attention on that one. So I think we currently like 14K views in a day. But I think it was a good subject. I mean, because they're not exactly parallel, but you got 2 guys who fathers don't mind being in the spotlight, who have a lot of love and support for their boys. And so it was interesting that, let's bring it on home to we always say, how far and wide, Jackson is permeating over the sports landscape, because now even like LeVar Ball is cognizant of it. You know what I mean? That's the dude, wasn't a football guy like that, even though he played for a practice squad in the NFL. That's not on his radar. And that's even, in his orbit now. So it just kind of shows that job that Coach Prime has done and how he's elevated, the consciousness of the SWAC like everywhere. Because over here on the West Coast, they don't really talk about HBCUs like that because the nearest school is like Prairie View or Texas Southern from California. So it's not a thing. It's just not a thing over here. Yeah. But yeah, I thought that was a cool way to kind of bridge those two worlds together. And I don't care who you are, when LeVar Ball talks, people got something to say about it. So it was a cool little video.
Yeah, and as Brian just said, it was great content. And they're not running parallel, but they're definitely going perpendicular, crossing paths. Yep. It's a lot of similarities there. But as you said, like for a guy, LeVar Ball, Chino Hills, that's out in California for folks who don't know. But let me just tie this back. We had a guy on this show probably about 3 weeks ago, and he lives in Canada. And he says that in Canada, they're selling Jackson State jerseys at a local store. Like,
wow.
Like, in Canada, a whole different country, man. And the folks who've been on this train, man, we have, and I'm pretty sure you see it all the time on your channel, man. I've had people from Croatia on this channel. I've had folks from China, UK, India, like checking in from everywhere to see Jackson State and see what they're doing, whether it be them seeing if they're going to be successful or they're going to lose. Whether or not right now, this Jackson State train is I don't even want to call it a train anymore. Let's just say a plane. They're global.
Oh, absolutely.
It's global. Like, and Brian just says, strong black fathers is what I like. He's also a forward thinker. Yep.
Absolutely.
Nothing wrong with that. And Eugenia is back. She says, I'm an HBCU grad, and I've always supported HBCU sports. Factually, my alma mater, Benedict College, is 8-0-1 MEAC team in South Carolina State, the home team, however. JSU is electrifying, and I'm a fan. Yeah. This is how fandom starts, man. And again, you wasn't born a fan of any team unless you just had not even crazy. I don't know. But for the most part, like Cowboys fans, your parents or your siblings, this and that, whatever, you're a Cowboys fan, you kind of transition into that. But at some point, somebody in that family had to be the spearhead of the situation to become a fan of that family. So for folks who like, man, oh, you're a bandwagon fan, you this and that, man, I really don't care. I allow people to be whatever they want.
Yeah. I mean, grown people can make grown decisions as far as I'm concerned.
It's that simple, though.
I mean, who's the fan police, man? Show me where they at, man.
It's that simple. That's a good point. I love them defeating the myth of absent father. And Sharon Brooks, man, it's crazy because, man, black fathers are really, really, man. But the media will tell you that they're not. Most of my friends, we've all grew up in 2-parent households. Most of our mothers was teachers. Fathers did their own businesses or whatever the case may be. But our fathers was always there. So I don't know the myth of black fathers not being there, and that's just something stupid. People who don't do their research, that's easy for them to spew out. Brian Johnson says he lives in Canada. Yeah, so he's way in Canada out here getting this Texas and California heat right now. Clifford Ross, man, he trying to steal your name, man. He says, I love the Deion factor for the SWAC and HBCU, but in order for the conference to really evolve, we need more D1 recruits spread out through the conference and not just JSU. Clifford Ross, I'll put it like this, man. What do you consider a D1 recruit? Because everybody that's on Alabama A&M or Texas Southern or whatever the case may be that's a D1 team. That's a D1 program. Now you might say a 5-star or a 4-star, and that's gonna be hard to do because Coach Sanders is one of a kind, man. You spoke about it in your video. He has the charisma and the accolades to go into a household like a Travis Hunter, like, hey, blah 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 blah, this and that. Why don't you come on down to Jackson State? Now, but every coach don't need to follow that game plan. Every program doesn't need to follow the game plan. They have to figure out what's good for them and go out there and get those type of guys. But the key is don't be afraid to go after these type of guys now.
Yeah, shoot your shot.
Yeah, let it all rip.
There you go, like Dirk said.
Oh, I really wish I could find that video, though.
Yeah, that's buried.
I cannot find any footage on that, man. It's like It's like the Loch Ness monster. Or remember the how people say it's a parallel universe. You remember the commercial growing up with Egg McMahon? He used to come and you knock on your door, and what was that? Publishing Clearinghouse.
Clearinghouse, yeah.
Yeah, publishing. So folks say that's a myth, but that video by Dirt, that I don't know what playoff series that was, but it's like me and you was the only one that seen that crap.
Yeah, you talking about the Mandela effect?
Yeah, the Mandela effect. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Dirk was up there tripping. Dirk had to be on that stuff.
Yeah.
Dirk, oh my God. So hour and 26 minutes. I don't know if anybody else want to come up, y'all can speak your piece. I know Brian just usually joins sometimes, but I don't know. I guess final predictions. A lot of folks. Brian Johnson said JSU by 40. 40 water. I want to say close early, and then Jackson State pulls away. I'm gonna say 40. No. Let me redact that. Let me take back my time. I might say 35 to 12. I want to say 35 to 12. 35 to 12, 35 to 14, somewhere in there. I don't see them getting more than that, as Brian did actually join. So there it is. Brian,
what's up?
What's
how
going
you doing?
On, good. How are you?
Good. I'm doing well. Listen to great content. Beautiful content you had today, man. It was really good, really enlightening. And that's what a lot of people got to understand is that, the myth and sometimes the stereotyping of absentee fathers. I lived in a two-family household. My son was brought up in a two-family household, and you know what I mean. And the importance of the black male in the family. And ones that don't have it, is, you know what I mean. The mothers play a significant role. We're not downgrading that or denigrating that in any shape or form. So it's just that you got to learn also about the history, why it happened for the separation of the black man from the family. But besides that, JSU, I think they're going to beat the brakes off Sutton.
And he's like, with all that being said, that was a hard left turn right there.
That was a hard pivot.
That is funny.
Yeah. No, I just like everything that's going on. It's like one of the people that wrote in and said, Jackson fans haven't been like this. Yeah, I've been following Prime for many years. You know what I mean? I was a big Cowboy fan until Jerry Jones bought the team, and got rid of Jimmy Johnson. So I was always a Cowboy fan and watched Deion. You know what I mean? As far as his career, from back in the day in Atlanta to San Fran to Dallas to Baltimore to Washington, and seeing his shows and stuff like that. But I'm really encouraged by Deion the man, of what he's doing for the culture. That's what impresses me about anything. I don't really get impressed by many things, but that's what it's an impressing thought process, and to see what he's doing and to exposing, because that's what he said. Sometimes people say things and we don't listen to what they say, and sometimes we want to give our own opinion or assume that something should be a certain way. He said God called him collect, he answered, and this, and to level the playing field. So he's doing exactly what he said that God set him out to do.
Yeah, bottom line. I mean, he pretty much I want to say preach, but he pretty much talks about that in every interview. Like, he talks about answering the phone collect from God, and there are folks in the world who don't believe in something more powerful than who we are. There are folks who go against God or against Jesus, and that's fine. Like, I'm not here to judge anyone, this and that. But Coach Prom, from his beliefs, this is what he believes he's supposed to be doing, and I have no issue with that. And he's brought his family from his sons to Deion Jr., Shiloh, Shadur, now even his daughter, which I can't even think of her name right now. She's getting ready for basketball season, and I'm super excited for those who don't understand. College basketball season about to start. in a couple of weeks. Oh my God, I can't wait. But he has a family thing going on at Jackson State right now, and somebody came here earlier. It might have been Bossy. Something said good luck with something with Coach Prime leaving after this year, anything like that. If so be it, right? But this is a very historical time in history. But I don't think he's leaving anytime soon. I've said from the start, I said about 4 to 7 years. I've said from the start, 4 to 7 years. And if his time is done during that, if his time is up during that time, then so be it. Yeah, as you said earlier, Brian, he will leave the program better than what he got it. And that's what any coach who goes on to another job or decide not to coach, that's what you want to do. He's setting up his assistant coaches for jobs down the line. And that's what any head coach would want to do.
Yeah, and obviously he's just making it better. The whole, you hear the whole, while he's leaving, and it's also be perpetrated by the media, ESPN, you know what I mean? You hear it on Fox, you hear it on, and they might have their agenda why they say this too. So that could be another conversation for another day. But the thing is, he's doing what he set out to do. And it's not like many years ago where a coach would stay for 15, 20 years. That's not happening anymore. The day a coach gets hired, it's one letter. I remember years ago when I was playing hockey, and the coach would leave 3 notes, 3 empty letters, and basically empty letters was to the next coach, and the next letter would be to the next coach. So the day you're hired is the day you shouldn't be fired. There's nothing that's not an expiration date on a hiring of a coach. But he's doing great things. And also he knows, for me, just out of my personal opinion, and I think you guys might agree, Prime is very calculated. He knows everything that he does. He's a forward thinker, like I was saying before. He's very calculated. And it's like you said, why wouldn't he not listen to other offers? You know what I mean? That might be better position for negotiating for his assistant coaches and for the city of Jackson to say, hey, listen, man, we really want this guy to stay. Look what it's doing to our the benefits for our economy. So let's maybe give 10% of the gross of what we're earning from them. They earned $30 million last year, so they get 10%. That's $3 million. That could be given towards the coach's salaries in some way. So you keep a better staff, you get better facilities, you get better housing. So it's a win-win situation right now. So everything's definitely there for either negotiation first, but there's a purpose. And anytime there's a purpose, there's a plan, there's a purpose, and he has God's purpose and plan. It's like you were saying, people don't believe. It's fine. People can believe what or not believe. But even when you don't believe, it's a belief system. It's a belief system even when you don't believe.
Makes sense to me. Makes sense to me. Eugenia said, what time's the game start? I think the game starts at 1.
Yeah, it's 1 o'clock start.
Starts at 1. And then Clifford Ross just basically said what you said. Yeah, and again, you can be a fool, but you can't be no damn fool. If somebody's offering you about $10 million to come coach, you gonna show them things like, huh? What'd you say? You gonna go listen? I know I would. And again, the way folks stand with a program for multiple years, that's not it anymore. Greg Popovich is the longest tenured coach in the NBA. I think Steve Kerr might be what's my guy's name at Miami? Spoelstra might be the second longest tenured coach, and then I want to say Steve Kerr.
Yeah,
that's 3 out of 30 teams, and then in the college rankings, Nick Saban's been with Alabama since 2005, maybe 2004, somewhere in there. There's no guys who just stand with programs for a long time, and so we as a fandom and the Jackson State fans have to understand, this time with Coach Prime is the twilight of things right now, and so you damn sure better appreciate it.
And Nick Saban moved around before he finally went to Alabama. He was at Michigan State, he was at LSU. He was Miami, you know what I mean? Cleveland Browns, he's been a great coaching career, and he's got a great situation in Alabama. Why would he leave? So if I feel myself personally, with Coach Prime. His daughter is Shalomi, I believe her name is, or Shalomai, or I believe. So she's a freshman. So 4 years. She goes, graduates in 4 years. So, like I said, I think your prediction between 5 to 7 years is accurate. He's 55 years old. He had two toes amputated. So it's all depending on his health and how what I mean, how that all goes. So if he's 55 and goes 10 years till he's 65, then you know what? Hey, they've been blessed. But what people don't realize, you're seeing history in the making right now.
I've been, Brian, you've been following this channel for a minute now. Like, I've been preaching that for forever, man. History, I'm a history guy. Like, if I could have taught something in school, I'd probably have been history. I just love history. I love history making stuff because it does something to me. It does something to my soul. I don't know why. My mom's a math teacher. She was a math teacher, and I should have been. Well, I like math, but I didn't like math like I like history. So it is what it is. All right, we're about a minute. Oh man, an hour and 40. That's been today's preview show. I enjoyed everybody that came through. If y'all want to kind of give your closing remarks and get to it, whoever wants to rock it.
I will make mine short and sweet. JSU by 40. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
All right, man. You too.
All right, bro.
Yeah. All right. Hope what you got, man.
I'm just hoping for a good game, man. Since it's gonna be raining, I like to see an inclement game. Remember what happened last year with FAMU and Jackson? It was a lot closer game than it probably would have been. Obviously, judging on how things went this year. So I'm hoping, a good ugly game is fine with me. I think Jackson still, no matter what, is gonna win by, I'd say 30 plus. I don't think Southern just got the firepower to deal with them. So yeah, it's about what I expect.
All right, well, there y'all have it, man. I appreciate y'all coming through. If y'all have not checked out the video, Hoop Jargon today with Prime and LeVar Ball, I put it on my community page, but you can obviously just go type in his channel. Make sure y'all subscribing to all these channels. Social media, Between the Game, sports, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. Hoop Jargon is on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, all that good stuff, man. So Saturday, man, we here. The game is at 1:00. Hope is gonna be on his channel. I'm gonna be on my channel, so y'all can check it out either way. And until then, man, y'all enjoy y'all weekend. Again, it's supposed to rain bad here, so I know in California y'all don't get no action.
Nope.
Y'all get no action.
No chance to rain over here.
All right, man, we out, man. As always, man, on your best day. Be better. Think about it. Between the Game Sports Mouthpiece.